Bernard Hopkins fought at an elite level in his 40s. And Usyk, in his heart, in his spirit, he may not want to retire. He may feel in his heart that he can still operate at an elite level. And it's interesting because the mindset and the psychological strength of a person, it can empower you or it can blind you. And who is best suited to make the decision of when you should walk away? The natural reaction is to say the boxer would know. But is that true? Is it the boxer's trainer? Because in theory, he sees you every day. Is it the team? And even if you're in the gym and you're in preparation and things are not going well, I guess there's always this curiosity within the boxer. There's always this ego within the boxer, or there's this thing in the boxer that maybe they can recreate one magical night. It's just so, I guess the bottom line is that it's not easy to ascertain when to walk away. When you look at all the variables and you put all the variables on the table, it's really, really hard. Okay, so let's finish this with 7 questions. Question number 1. Has Usyk earned the right to continue, or was the second Dubois fight the perfect ending? For me, as an outsider looking in, 90,000 in front of Wembley, an absolutely spectacular performance, a performance that transcended his identity because it was a knockout as opposed to a decision win against a champion that was coming off a vicious, brutal victory over Anthony Joshua. To me, this would have been a perfect finish. However, the next best time to finish would be probably in his next fight. But that was a great, great moment. But Usyk may have other motivations in terms of fighting either at home or close to home. So from where we're standing now and looking at the Rico performance, that looked like the perfect time to end, but only time will tell. Question 2. Did the Rico fight expose physical decline, poor preparation, or simple disinterest? It may have been a combination of all those things. It's hard to talk about the physical decline because he still physically operated. And remember, he got the stoppage in the late round. So he still had that stamina. Was there poor preparation? It depends how we define poor preparation. Did he train hard? I think it's a byproduct of Usyk's personality to train hard, but perhaps there were distractions, perhaps there was politics, perhaps there may have been some minor injuries. There could have been a variety of things. So the poor preparation may not have been due to a lack of effort. And was he disinterested? It just, when he was in the pocket sometimes, he just looked like he just wasn't focused. Similar to AJ against Prenga. He just seemed to switch off. Maybe that was a psychological trick. I don't know. But there did seem to be some concerns there. Question number 3. Is Usyk still fighting for personal ambition or to give his people unforgettable nights? I think he's probably achieved everything personal. And I think a large part of his fuel, figuratively speaking, is the strength he gives his people. And I think he's so invested in that. I think he's so proud of that. And I think he's a man of integrity. That's how he comes across. So I think it's going to be hard for him to put that down. I know that his people look up to him and he probably feels a sense of obligation. Money is important until you've made so much money that it becomes not as important. So the cultural impact or the impact, the worldwide impact, I think that means a lot to him. So question number 4, can even a cerebral fighter like Usyk become addicted to boxing as adrenaline and identity? So can a cerebral fighter like Usyk become addicted to boxing's adrenaline and identity? I think so. I think when you have that type of success, when you're figuratively on the top of the mountain and you're looking down and you're just thinking, wow, look what I've accomplished. When you earn that level of respect, there's not many people in the world that have earned the level of respect that Usyk has earned. Imagine that adrenaline rush. Imagine that dopamine effect. You might not be able to put that into words. So the expectation that just because you're a cerebral boxer, that you can just walk away That to me doesn't make rational sense. Matter of fact, being a cerebral boxer might make you want it even more. So I don't think his boxing IQ will increase. I don't know, does his boxing IQ have any bearings on him walking away? I think, assuming he has a good team and he has good people around him, you would hope that there would be a calculation of when to leave. But like I said, you don't want to leave no great nights on the table.